It's October 10th, 2023. I think today's Tuesday, but I'm going to the supermarket. There are a lot more people on the streets today than there have been in the last couple days. I honestly thought we were going to wake up to all-out war, but there's nothing in the news. There's definitely like a ton of, there's still bombing in Gaza. The IDF has not stopped with that. But we expected a ground invasion. That was one of the news reports last night. But as I probably have mentioned before, you can't believe everything in the media. There's too much. Not because even if they're lying, maybe or reporting fake news, you know, it's just that there's so much information that it's not being sourced properly. So anyway, now I'm going to see if there's anything left to buy, because there was a call to go shopping and stock, or there was a call from the Home Front Command to stock up. And let's see if the shelves have already been wiped out. Well, at least there's wine. Yeah. Phase 2 was the same. Hey, not bad, I have to say. I expected a lot worse, but there are no eggs. That of course was expected. And just to give you a picture of what it's like to live in Jerusalem, I know everybody has the impression that there's a division and you know, the Palestinians live in one place and the Israelis live in another, but these workers here are Arab, and they're here working. We see them every day. And then most of the customers, because it's where the neighborhood is located, most of the customers are Jewish, and you know, there's no problem. So this is just normal life here, and what's happening in Gaza is being carried out by a terror organization that is intent on murdering Jews, murdering Israelis, wiping Israel off the face of the earth. So anyway, it looks like the store is not cleared out. So I'm going to start shopping. Today is October 10th, 2023. It's actually almost October 11th. But today we're beginning to see the full picture of exactly what went down in the South. Yesterday, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the nation in Israel, and he said the savage attacks that Hamas perpetrated against innocent Israelis are mind-boggling, slaughtering families in their homes, massacring hundreds of young people at an outdoor festival, kidnapping scores of women, children, and elderly, even Holocaust survivors. Hamas terrorists bound, burned, and executed children. They are savages. Hamas is ISIS. End quote. So today, the foreign media was brought into some of the communities, some of the towns and the kibbutzes where these attacks took place, and they began to broadcast from there. And we're all now getting a picture of the worst nightmare anybody could ever have about what happened. Some reports say, well, one person, a general, told a reporter that he saw the bodies of 40 babies. This general, Itai Veruv, said, it's not a war. It's not a battlefield. You see the babies, the mothers, the fathers in their bedrooms, in their protection rooms, and how the terrorists kill them. It's not a war. It's a massacre. Some even are reporting that they saw the babies and other bodies beheaded.
although that was not officially confirmed by an IDF spokesperson. Homes were set on fire with people inside. Entire families have been wiped out, all of them dead or all of them missing. There's one family, we just saw the picture on the news, a family of 5 people that only one they saw a video of her in being abducted into Gaza, and the other 4 are nowhere to be seen. They weren't seen in a video, and their bodies weren't found either, so nobody knows their fate. We are constantly seeing footage of cars riddled with bullet holes. With the media in there now, we're seeing pictures of the Kibbutz Be'eri, which was one of the hardest hits. There's more than 100 casualties alone on that kibbutz, and they expect it to rise. They're still going through house by house to pull out the bodies. The images of that it looks like a natural disaster. The houses are barely standing. Some of them are burned down. There's wreckage in the streets, like a tornado went through and ripped things out of the ground and threw cars around. So that is the horror that is coming to light now. This as Hamas equals ISIS. Basically, anything you remember from the days of ISIS, Hamas is living up to that. There are still active shootings and attacks going on. There's still rocket attacks at all times. We just there's one community. I mean, even as we speak, there's messages coming in, but there is one community where residents were told, go into your safe houses now and secure yourself, lock yourself in. There's a armed terrorist walking around. They said actually this Kibbutz Be'eri, they said that people these terrorists walked in fully armed like a military unit. Like they had heavy artillery when they went in there. What else? School again canceled. That's likely not going to happen for a while. 300,000 or 360,000 reserve soldiers called up. The Israeli defense minister said the invasion will take weeks, if not months. They haven't started the ground invasion. I think I ended my last broadcast saying that they're expecting a ground invasion tonight, and then that did not transpire. So we don't know when that's going to happen. What else can I tell you? I think the shock is the shock. The country is coming out of shock right now after what happened on Saturday, only to start to learn the actual details. All right, I'm taking video right now of our bomb shelter, and Lucas's friend here is asking me questions like, why is there no emergency exit in case terrorists come? So as you can see, that it's, instead of being used as a bomb shelter, it's used for storage for everybody, for their furniture and for bikes, for sukkahs, for the Feast of Tabernacles, and that's actually the sukkah. They probably just put it away. And wow, a lot of furniture. Should just how are people going to fit in here? It's crazy. And if we have to stay in here for a couple days, it's impossible. But anyway, so that's our bomb shelter. Now there's other people right now clearing out theirs, very responsible citizens. Shut this. It's staying unlocked for now. I don't know how smart that is, or what's better, to leave it unlocked so we can get in quicker, or to let other people go in there. When I say people, I don't mean the good ones. I'm gonna go check the other one. אני אבדוק את המקלט בצד שני. כאילו עכשיו הם מנקים את זה.
Look, there's still a sukkah left. There were about 5 right here, and last week was the holiday. So the other one should be in here. It's our building next door. לא, זה לא בית שלנו. This is, זה השכנים. אבל איפה, הנה, זה שלכם. הרבה יותר טוב. Wow.
So continuing with the update from October 10th, this evening, the Northern Front again is maybe threatening to boil over. I just am looking at it like a pot of water that you have on the stove, and you know when the water is close to boiling and then it wants to boil over and you have to turn the fire down, and that seems to be what's happening every day now. It's sort of like a not if but when situation that Hezbollah in Lebanon is going to get involved in attacking Israel. Hezbollah has an arsenal of 250,000 missiles, they say, that can hit Israel, that can hit well deep into Israel from the north. So that would open up another front. And yesterday there was an infiltration from Lebanon into Israel. There was actual clashes. At least one Israeli soldier was killed in this. Then there was also tonight another one. There were rockets in the afternoon, and then tonight, just before I was going to start this, there were rockets from Syria as well. So the IDF the Air Force is currently responding right now to that. So that's again, the flame went up, the water's about to boil over, and we will not know how this is going to end. It might die down again. It might escalate. So this has been the concern. Actually, is the different fronts that could possibly open up. So the north is one. Coming from Lebanon, where Iran's proxy group, Hezbollah, is based. And then there's also several Iranian proxy groups in Syria that could get involved. Israel's all the time attacking targets in Syria, or never really says that actually, but believed to be Israeli airstrikes at Iranian targets in Syria. And then there's also the Houthis in Yemen, who have weapons capable of reaching Israel, and they're also Iranian backed. So we have these possible fronts going on right now. So we're keeping our eyes on that, obviously, but I don't know whether the pot's going to boil over tonight. Today was a very interesting day. I'm going to show you another video of just in Jerusalem, where suddenly people are out again. And though things, most establishments are closed, restaurants are closed, schools are closed. The only thing open right now is supermarkets, but there were a lot of kids at the park and a lot more cars on the street than have been for the last couple of days. So that was pretty interesting, especially after the panic message that went out last night saying everybody should stock up to be in a shelter for 72 hours. Now, I'm not saying that's not valid, but maybe the timing was a little bit off. At least, well, that's what they said on the news today. So the casualty count for Israel is 1,000 now, and they're still counting. In Gaza, 900 Palestinians have been killed so far in relentless airstrikes by Israel. There are at least 130 hostages being held, and among these hostages are not just Israelis, but there's Americans, Russians, Italians, Thai, And a lot of nations are now getting involved. And President Biden just gave a speech today condemning Hamas's actions, and also the U.S. is also sending military support. So that's the update for today. I think we're in for the long haul, and I think we're going to be watching the different fronts that open up. I think there's a little cat and mouse game on the border right now, but Lebanon and Syria are under pressure from foreign governments to keep their countries out of it, and to keep Hamas, Hezbollah in check, and to keep the other groups in check, in order not to drag the region into a war. But this looks like, everybody says there's no going back from this. And with the absolute devastation and shock and surprise attack that happened here, there's, Israel's not going to stop quickly on this. They're going to root out. They're going to. Well, let's see what happens in Gaza. 2 million people in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, and it's under complete lockdown right now. Israel has closed the border so that not even food is getting in there, no fuel, no electricity, the internet is down, there's no water. Anyway, keep your eyes on the region and keep praying. All right. Ciao for now.